This is my match footage for the West End Gun Club LESA Multigun match that was held September 24th, 2022. Stage 1 was my second to last stage of the day. I had misread the stage brief and had my stage plan set up for rifle use first. As you can tell, I am frazzled and have to rethink my stage plan midway through shooting. As has become the norm, humanoid and steel targets are shot with pistol, IPSC turtles are shot with rifle. Some of my handgun presentations here could have been shot from elsewhere on the stage, making these shots a lot easier. I didn't think about that as much as I was trying to get through this as fast as I could. Along with that sentiment, I should have conducted a reload between moving from one side of the stage to the next. That would have stopped me from having to reload right here on an empty chamber. Finally finishing up with the pistol shooting, I retrieved my rifle. This match's scoring system is a modified elimination. One hit in the A-box counts as an elimination. With how close the target was, I just needed one hit. Again, you can tell that I was frazzled. I should have engaged this laying target first. And right here, I rack up a few no-shoots, causing my score to be even worse than it already is. With my second to last stage and a pretty rocky stage plan, I landed 11th out of 30 shooters with 74.63% of the winner's score. Now my final stage of the day, and we have another Andrew designed stage. Shooter starts with handgun and must eliminate all humanoid targets and steel targets. The steel activator right in the middle of the stage next to the blue barrels must be engaged last before dumping the handgun and proceeding to the rifle portion of this stage. Here I take too many rounds to engage those targets that were fairly close up and forget to conduct a reload. And right here, I believe I catch my first no-shoot of the stage. Grabbing my rifle, there is a plastic popper that must be engaged with rifle first. A bit too preoccupied if I hit the target or not. I forget the target that was right next to me. Right here, if I just ran up to the barrel and engaged all the targets, I would have been both faster and would have not gotten a few additional no-shoots that I got. You can hear the RSO here directing me that I forgot to engage two targets.
Can't even tell what's going through it.
My last stage of the day is finished 19th out of 30 shooters with 52.53% of the winner's score. I was pretty much gassed out and added a few too many seconds at the end of the stage. This compounded with the fact I forgot a target and racked up no shoots gave me an abysmal score. Stage 3 was the first stage for my day. This one was pretty straightforward. Shooter must engage 4 steel targets in the back with 1 hit each, move to the next shooting position, and do the same engagement of 4 steel. Once this is done, the shooter dumps their rifle, transitions to pistol, the shooter engages 1 paper target followed by a steel target, and repeats this for the 4 visible targets. They must then engage the 2 paper targets from the shooting window in the center. I'm not 100% sure why I mag dumped this target, but I do conduct a reload right after I finish off here, knowing I was fairly low on ammo.
Are you finished?
My performance landed me 8th out of 30 shooters on this fairly interesting stage with 74.33% of the winner's score. If I didn't rack up that no-shoot, I would have easily landed either 5th or 6th. Stage 4 was fairly simple. Shooter engages 3 steel targets in the rear with 3 hits each, moves to the next shooting position, and does the same before dumping the rifle. I was getting a little bit impatient here, causing quite a few misses, as you can tell. You can hear me click off my safety here. It's not mandatory at these matches, but it's a good habit to learn. I say this because if you dump a rifle without engaging the safety, it's an instant match DQ. Now that the rifle portion is finished, we move on to handguns. 12 targets and 4 holes, the shooter must engage 3 targets from each hole. My shots here aren't the most controlled, causing quite a few misses. I managed to remember to conduct a reload here because I already knew I was running fairly low on ammo because of all the misses. Once the shooter finishes the steel array, there is one last small target that they must engage to finish the stage. I managed to hit it with my first shot. My best stage of the day so far, 7th out of 30 shooters with 81.76% of the winner's score. We're finally breaking the 80% barrier. Stage 5 at LESA is usually a long-range stage. The shooter must engage a 200-yard steel target from a rested position before moving on to 4 steel plates that all must be shot unsupported. From there, they can support themselves when they engage the 100, 125, 150, and 200-yard steel targets. I seemingly had some zeroing issues with my scope, causing me to take quite a few shots at fairly close targets.
I can barricade, right?
Barricade.
Thanks to CMC making a fairly light trigger, I easily bump off quite a few rounds here, more than I really expected to shoot. I've made a habit of reloading when switching from one position to another on these longer range stages. Speaking of switching to another position, the shooter must re-engage all of the steel from left to right, finishing off at the 200-yard steel once again. No real excuse for the number of misses I've had on this stage so far. I just need to train more with shooting my rifle at variable distances. As per usual with my long-range stages, I didn't do too well, 13th out of 30 shooters with 48.99% of the winner's score. Overall, with my mixed bag of performance, I ended up landing 11th out of 30 shooters with 76.83% of the winner's score. I'm happy with the score as I did about 75% as well as the top shooter. This leaves quite a bit of room for improvement. As always, thank you for watching this video. If you like this sort of match content, please subscribe. I try to get out at least one video on the first Wednesday of every month.